Let's go.
When real life happens, we got a golden rule. Stay true, stay focused on what's important. Oh, you can cover the gold in you. Find your gold.
Yo. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Golden Rule Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Ryan Hayes, man. You hear that? That's my music, man. That's my music. Now, welcome back, man. We are now on episode 10 of the show, man, which I'm very excited to be on, man. We're going to get straight to it, man. It's a few things to talk about. Not a whole lot going on in the midweek, but it's a few things to talk about. Starting with the very first thing in the NBA. Eric Lewis. If that name is not familiar to you, then you probably are not a Boston Celtics fan, and you probably not a Lakers fan either, because we all know Eric Lewis has made news for the last few years, man. He's been a referee in the NBA who's basically had some objective calls coming out against teams that played against the Celtics. This guy, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna just keep it real. This guy's a cheater, man. He been cheating. He's more like the dude that they had on Netflix, Tim. I don't know his name. It was a Netflix series about guys, the referees hedging bets, betting on players to get fouled out, betting in Vegas for games to be won by other teams because they had a dog in the fight. And they've been cheating, man. This dude, Eric Lewis, has been known to be a cheater, man. And his latest biggest thing that he did was the game where LeBron James, everybody talking about LeBron falling all over the court, Patrick Beverly bringing the camera on the court and everything. So right now, Eric Lewis he's retired. He retired as of today from the NBA, man. So it's kind of sticky that they let him just walk away like that, man. He should be sanctioned to some fines. All the things has been going on, but with Eric Lewis, what happened? So the reason it led to his retirement is because he had a burner account, kind of like KD did back in the day. He had a burner account. He was responding to fans on Twitter and social media about people saying that the Celtics suck and they're getting cheated by the refs, and then he'll come back and say, "Hey, well, this happened, and you can't blame the refs." He was just basically interacting with fans, defending his position, defending the referees of the games that the Celtics will win. And there's a viral photo. I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but there's a photo of him and his family, all of his family. He's not pictured in the photo. He probably took the photo, but his son, his daughter, his wife, the kids, all the kids got Celtics jerseys on. His wife got Celtics jersey on. So he's been kind of linked to the Celtics. That's their favorite team, you know. So in the household, that's their favorite team. We just gonna call it what it is, man. If it looked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, it ain't a damn mongoose. This guy's been cheating, man. He's been I'm gonna tell you the record. I had the record written down for what he the games that he's been, against the Celtics. Since 2020, the Celtics have been 36-2 in games that he's ref. And I'm sure them two came from like either blowouts or no close games, man. This guy's been cheating, man. This is official. This guy 36-2 since 2020. Come on now. Eric Lewis, look him up on Google, whatever you got to do. Look up Eric Lewis. Go to Google and look up Eric Lewis family photo, and you will see all of them in Celtics jersey. He shouldn't have been a referee, man. We got to eliminate all of these referees. I think the NBA need to investigate every referee and go into their background, because there's no way you can be non-biased when you have a family full of Celtics fans and you refereeing Celtics games. I mean, like I said, the most notable one of late was the one against the Lakers where Jason Tatum clearly fouled LeBron James at the end of the game before it went to overtime. LeBron was supposed to be at the line for the free throws. They say they didn't see it. They told LeBron Eric Lewis was a referee that game. He told LeBron he didn't see it. He was the referee that actually charged Patrick Beverly with the technical foul during that game, because Patrick came out there, after the game was basically over in regulation and headed into overtime. Patrick Beverly comes out there like, "Man, look, it's clear as day this man got fouled. Y'all standing right there under the basket and you saying you ain't see it." So I feel like this guy is more of just Eric Lewis. I'm not trying to just point the finger at him. It's a whole lot of Eric Lewis's in this league, man. And they need to clean that up because games cannot possibly be fair when you got to fight all 5 to 12 people on the court for the other team because it's 5 starters and then probably every roster has 12 players or whatever. So you gotta beat those guys and the Zebras. That's the hardest thing in the world, man. So look, Eric Lewis, man, sayonara, buddy. We so glad you are gone. Get out of here, bro. Get your cheating butt out of here. We don't need you, dog. Moving right along from that, man. Giannis rumors have been heating up, man. So I told you guys on the last episode, Giannis has been linked to other teams. He's basically saying he's not willing to sign with the Bucks if they're not speaking that language of winning championships and continuing to keep a strong roster. So I just think he's putting it out there. He's kind of like bracing the fans for him wanting to leave a small market. We all know Milwaukee is a small market when it comes to NBA. I think he want to get to a bigger market, more money, more publicity, more media coverage. I mean, it could be a team like the New York Knicks. It could be a team like the Los Angeles Lakers. I do know the Lakers and Golden State. These teams have been, in the mix since the trade rumors have started. But I did hear like San Antonio would have the money to get him over there. I'm not sure he wants to go to San Antonio. That's still a small market, even though you got Greg Popovich. I'm not sure how Giannis would look with Wemby. Victor Wembanyama. I call him Wemby because everybody else call him Wemby. But anyway, man, I'm not sure if that will be, 2 giant guys on the same team. I'm not sure. He's not like, I just don't think he's going to go to San Antonio. But at the same time, I think he's setting the tone and being like, hey, man, look, I'm not sticking around just because. I accomplished what I wanted to. I got a championship in this small market. And I'm going to spread my wings. I think his next contract, he's going to spread his wings. I don't think he's signing an extension. Moving along from that, more NBA news. Well, it's not NBA, it's Team USA, but I mean, they're NBA players. So more news with the NBA will be Team USA won this morning. Man, they play so early in the morning. I personally be at work. I mean, I go to work early in the morning, but I do see the stats and I see the highlights when I'm taking my breaks or whatever the case may be. They played this morning against Jordan. The team Jordan, the country Jordan. I've never been there. I don't even like the Jordan name. I'm not a Michael Jordan fan. Nah, but the country Jordan, they played them, man. They beat them 110-62, man. So 110-62, that was a slaughterhouse. So, I mean, Team USA, it looked like they trying to step their game up. I'm not real sure about, if the roster's going to pan out, but it looked like a team like Jordan ain't got a chance, man. They almost doubled the whole score on them. Actually, yeah, they almost doubled the score on them, man. It's crazy. But who led the team will be Anthony Edwards. We got a sighting. He's back. I mean, I know I talked about him before the thing kicked off, and he came back. He led all scores with 22 points, 3 for 5 from 3, 8 for 16. So 50% shooting, not bad at all. Jaren Jackson Jr. came out with 12.6 rebounds. Brunson had 10. Bobby Portis stepped up today, had 13 points. It's just a lot of everybody kind of contributed, man. But I mean, about Team USA, I will say that I'm not sure Steve Kerr is the coach for these guys, man. There's been some disgruntled individuals, and we can start with Brandon Ingram, who's basically made himself an all-star in the NBA at this point. I mean, he's a very important player and that plays for the Pelicans. I mean, I've seen him put on his display in the playoffs, man. He looks great, man. Brandon Ingram is a very important player in the league. And he said himself, it's just frustrating, man. Frustrating. He can't really find his place. I do know when they opened up play the first game, he had like 2 points on 1 for 3 shooting. So it was like, he basically saying like, man, I can't really find my way. You would think somebody like Brandon Ingram will be a star on this team because they're all young. We hearing Anthony Edwards is the leader on this team, and he's probably the youngest. So it's crazy right now. I'm not sure if Steve Kerr can grasp the coaching everybody concept, man. It's going to be interesting moving forward to see if he's going to be like the Team USA guy. I mean, he's no Coach K, and he's definitely not Popovich. So I don't know. We looking at that, man. We're gonna stay focused on that. Training camp for the NBA will be starting soon. NBA does kick off in October, so we're heading into September. By Friday, it'll be September. So we all know it's coming. We rolling down the pipeline, man. So training camp will be kicking up, and we're gonna keep focused on that. But give Team USA a hand just because, They did their thing, man. I mean, you beating Jordan, but at the same time, it's still that was a significant win. Moving right along, man. We did have some NFL news. I don't know, man. Trey Lance and this Dak Prescott thing, man, in Dallas, man. I think that's the biggest story right now in the NFL. The fact that Jerry Jones, like I told you guys on the last episode, he did not consult with neither Mike McCarthy or Dak Prescott. I mean, he just said, hey, look, I don't got to tell y'all nothing. It's my team, and that's how I roll. And he did like what he wanted to do, man. But Trey Lance is saying, it's like a breath of fresh air. They interviewed him finally. I mean, they got his first thoughts and on being traded, and he basically said it's like a breath of fresh air being up under, being from under the San Francisco, I guess, bench riding, and now he gonna come to Dallas and do some bench riding. I mean, some fans think that he gonna light a fire under Dak Prescott or put them on a hot seat, but me personally, I'm like, bro, you're the number 3 overall pick, not third round pick. You're the number 3 overall pick in your draft class, and you didn't pan out. You couldn't even start on the team that drafted you. They put you down below a guy who was picked the very last pick in the draft, Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. So I don't see him putting pressure on Dak Prescott. I think Dak is a made man. Him being over there, only thing he can do is really learn, man. We'll see, though. Maybe he got more talent than I'm giving him credit for, but I haven't been able to see it. I've seen him on the field a couple times, but he's also been injury prone thus far. And I just don't see him putting no pressure on Dak. But, I mean, the breath of fresh air, change of scenery, man, hey, congratulations, man. Dallas ain't a bad place to live. I live here, so what can I say? Moving right along, though, Eli Apple, I'm not sure what's going on. I want you guys to look into this yourself, man, and tell me what you think, man. But Eli Apple having some drama, man, some baby mama drama at that. He had the mother of his child has sent out some like cryptic messages of him, like, putting his picture and them two together and putting pictures of him up, saying that she's willing to pay anybody in the NFL who can hurt him, who goes for the knees. That's what she basically said. Go for his knees, because I know he had surgery on the knee or whatever. She basically saying that she'll pay the fines if they hurt him, man. She want this man hurt. And the thing about this, man, this is crazy. Now, baby mama drama, man, hold on. Shorty, she's a woman scorned, but what makes this even more worse than what it already is, this lady also has kids by 2 other NFL players, man. She just the pass around. I mean, I know the NFL is the passing league, but I ain't know we was passing women. She's a pass around, man. This lady's a pass around. She has a kid by Josh Jacobs, who's a running back, I believe, that played for the Raiders. Yeah, I think Josh Jacobs is the one who played for the Raiders. And also Geno Smith. She got a kid by Geno Smith, the quarterback for the Seattle right now. You know the whole, they wrote me off, but I ain't right back. He must have been talking about her. Like, yo, that she wrote him off and he ain't right back. I don't know, man, but this lady crazy. She talking about, she got 3 NFL players, babies. And I'm like, man, how did y'all fall for this? What happened? Man, it's sticky, man. I'm just hoping Eli Apple can get through this, man. I know that he on child support. The way she talking, I already know he on child support for sure. She want everything he own, and she want him to be hurt. She want his career over, man. This girl is crazy. But moving along from him, let's go to Doug Peterson, man. That was some interesting news that came out with Doug Peterson, man. So yesterday, he had to make final cuts. When NFL season starts next Thursday. So we down the final cuts. All the teams had to get their full roster prepared. And he ended up having to cut his own son, man, which is crazy. I'm like, man, he cut his own son. He could at least made him a ball boy or put him on the team anyway, made him, made some kind of sacrifice, man. But Doug Peterson had to cut his son. His son's name is Josh Peterson, and he played tight end. Well, he plays tight end, but he doesn't play for his dad's team. But he plays tight end, man. He cut him yesterday, man. When they asked Doug about it on Monday, Doug was like, look, man, I wanted to be the one to tell him. I've been in position to spank him. I've spanked my son before. What do you say? I spanked him at one point, so it's the same thing. He basically said, man, I had to let him know, like, look, you ain't gonna make the team, not on my roster, man. So it's kind of tough that he had to do that to his own son, but it is what it is, man. I mean, hey, if you ain't good enough to make it, you ain't good enough to make it. And I think he gonna earn a lot of respect from the players on his team because I mean, it could have easily been some daddy ball going on. Like, hey, man, I'm the coach. My son is playing. He's old enough to play. He's out here in the uniform, and I'm gonna keep my son. I mean, that could have been that could easily have happened, but I feel like a lot of players in the locker room might give Doug Peterson a little more respect, man. But I also Jaguars gonna be pretty good. They're not a slouch anymore, man. I think Trevor Lawrence, those guys gonna be okay. Moving right along though, for the Joe Burrow return to practice today. Let's get Joe Burrow. Listen, Joe Burrow has been out for the entirety of the preseason. I think he had some injury issues he was coming back from, but also, Joe Burrow is supposed to be scheduled for an upcoming contract extension. And for whatever reason, Bengals and him, they haven't reached an agreement on that. So out of the four quarterbacks who needed to get their extensions, whether it be Lamar Jackson or gosh, what's my name? What's my man name? Of course, we know Pat Mahomes is coming up, but I think um Buffalo Bills. What's my man name? Josh Allen. And there's another one that was supposed to get a contract extension. Either way, Joe Burrow was supposed to be top of the list, man. Joe Burrow was definitely supposed to get his contract. And also the Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts, got a contract extension. I was thinking that Joe Burrow would definitely get one because he deserved it, man. This is Joe. Yo, I call him Icy Joe, man. I mean, he was putting on, man. He been performing. I feel like he really the most confident quarterback. I got the most confidence in him to beat a guy like Patrick Mahomes because he's had a winning record against him, and he's proven that he's ready for the moment, man. He always steps up to the plate. He ain't shying away from the moment. So I feel like I don't know. Either he's not happy or they're not offering him the money that he's supposed to be getting. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna keep our eyes on Joe Burrow. Last but not least in the NFL, I want to give Skip Bayless a little bit of respect, man. Listen, that show, I did say on a couple days ago that the show was like okay. I didn't want to oversell it or undersell it, but yo, after watching yesterday's episode, it's only been on for a couple days, with 3 days now. But Michael Irvin wasn't on this morning. After watching that show, man, that show is gonna be all right. It's gonna be one to watch, especially during football season. Michael Irvin is just hilarious within itself, man. They were talking like Twitter was like, "Hey, this the Michael Irvin show." Skip Bayless just hosting, like it's crazy when you hear him talking, going back and forth with Richard Sherman and walking off the set. I already told y'all it's gonna be interesting to watch, especially during football season. Now, I'm not sure how these three NFL Hall of Fame guys. I'm not sure Keyshawn made the Hall of Fame yet, but I'm not sure how these guys are gonna talk basketball because that's kind of weird. I'm not, it's just weird. But the football season, everything football, all these next couple months, 3, 4 months, that show gonna be one to watch, man. Skip Bayless did his thing, man. Give him a hand one more time. We'll give Skip a little praise. Because that show's gonna be interesting, man. Keep your eyes on it. Michael Irvin is very entertaining. I know Shannon Sharp is entertaining, but Michael Irvin is also entertaining, man. Them guys, he get to talking about heaven and opening up and all. Man, it's crazy, man. I like it. So far, I do like it. After seeing the second episode, I'm on board, man. I'm on board. Moving along, man. Honorable mentions today, man. I do have a couple honorable mentions. Coco Golf. If you're not familiar, look it up. Golf is spelled Gauff. Coco Golf, man. She had a issue with a chair umpire cheating. I'm not gonna say cheating, but being unfair. Let's just put it like that. She was being unfair to her, basically allowing the I'm gonna let y'all hear what she says, but she was allowing the other girl to take breaks and stopping her in the middle of the match. It was just crazy, man. But I'm gonna let y'all hear a little bit of what Coco was saying. I don't know all the rules in tennis. I do know like when I'm looking at it, I can tell you who got the point, but I can't tell you like what's the rules and how things go. So that was her whole thing of telling the umpire what it is. And when I heard the commentator saying, "Hey, she's right," I'm like, "Oh, was she right there?" But let me just do it. She's 100% right. Basically, what she was saying, I ain't gonna play all of it because I mean it's in a crowded atmosphere. Obviously she's talking over through a mic, but she's in the crowd. But at the same time, it's like, yo, she basically saying that the umpire was allowing the chair umpire was allowing her opponent to just take breaks in the middle of her serving and not be ready whenever she's serving. And she dropped the mic when she finished. She was like, look, I don't care what she do when it's her serve, but when it's my serve, she need to be ready. And then she just walked away. So, all I heard was a commentator saying she was right. So if they say it, then I just gotta believe it because I don't really know what exactly was going on. I wasn't watching the match live. Moving on to another I'm sorry. Moving on to another honorable mention will be Shakur Still No Fight. Shakur Stevenson, man, it's a little bit of boxing news. Shakur Stevenson, I really want to see this guy fight now because I'm looking at it like these people are running from him. This is the same thing that happened to Terrence Crawford. This is the same thing that happened to Bud. He was beating up everybody he got around. And the other guys who were champions, who were supposed to be number one contender type guys that he's begging to fight, they running from him. We already know Devin Haney's trying to move up to number 140. He's trying to move up to 140. Shakur's still at 130, 135. So he's going to vacate the belts. So the WBC is saying the mandatory for that belt, they're gonna make Shakur Stevenson fight Frank Martin. Now, hopefully that happens. We don't know. Frank Martin's a pretty decent challenger. He's also undefeated. He got some skills. I checked a little bit of his highlights. So we're gonna keep our eyes on that. But I think Shakur Stevenson is seriously putting fear in these guys' heart, man. I don't think that they want to fight him, man. There was some footage leaked back in the day when Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson was sparring and Shakur was tearing his ass up. So I really don't think I don't think he really want to fight him. I think he really running from that. Him and his father both know like that ain't what we want. They doing the Mayweather shuffle. I'm sorry. Any champion that's running from a contender, I'm gonna call it the Mayweather shuffle. I don't care how you feel about it. I'm sorry. Mayweather did it and they following suit, man. Just like Gervonta Tank Davis, he want to fight Isaac Cruz. These guys are following suit with the Mayweather shuffle. Last boxing news will be Bud Crawford say he wants Canelo at 168. My man trying to come up from 147 to 168. That's crazy. And not only that, what's even crazier is Canelo has responded saying that if that's what the people want after he get this business out of the way with Charlo, which is September 30th coming up, he's saying that might be a possibility. He responded back. They asked him about it. I know that Bud just tweeted out yesterday saying that that's the biggest fight in boxing right now. It'll be him versus Canelo. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep my eyes on it though, because I just want to see Bud fight, but I don't know if I want to see him jump up like that much. That's crazy. 147 to 168. Hey, it is what it is, man. If I feel like anybody can do it, it'll be him, man. I think Bud is the GOAT at this point, man. I feel like his record is impeccable, and I don't think nobody want to see him. Period. My last and final honorable mention will be Deion Sanders saying that he's not a Florida State Seminole. Now we all know Deion Sanders made Florida State popular with all of his play. Obviously he was drafted number 5 overall. Well, I think it was number 5, might have been number 3, by the Atlanta Falcons back in his day. But for him to say that, what he said was like, I'm not a Seminole. I'm sorry, it was a 1989 draft. He was drafted 4th overall. And for him to say like, I'm not a Florida State Seminole, it kind of shocked me because but then he basically was saying that he's not a Seminole because he graduated from an HBCU, which I didn't know. I didn't know he graduated from an HBCU. He finished his college career he went back to school in 2020, I believe. I'm sorry, I got it right here. He went back, Hall of Famer degree at Talladega College in Alabama. So that was in 2020. He went back to school to do that. So I mean, that just lets you know, man, it's never too late. You can get your education. You can definitely get your education. It's never too late to go back to college, finish what you started. Obviously, he had millions of dollars on the mind because, he left as a junior, but he went straight pro, making millions. But also, he went back and finished college. And I'm with him on that. I know he did a fast track program, and the program that he did was kind of like, just getting through it real quick. But I mean, hey, he's a college graduate and he graduated from an HBCU. So salute Prime, man, because I mean, he's one of my favorite players of all time. And it's always good to see a guy finish something that he started, man. With that being said, we're going to say the golden rule of the day, man. We're going to move on to the golden rule of the day. The golden rule is get comfortable. Excuse the motion in my garage. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. So there's no growth in comfort. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. So basically, you need to just be uncomfortable. Be happy with being uncomfortable. It's okay. When you're uncomfortable, that means you're growing. That means you're settling in. You're not settling into complacency. So be comfortable being uncomfortable, man. Challenge yourself and your limits. You gotta fail first. Fall 7 times, stand up 8, man. That's just the oldest cliche, man. Fall 7, stand up 8, man. Progress over perfection. Just get comfortable being uncomfortable, man. And it's okay about that. It's okay. Growth happens in uncomfortable situations. Complacency, being with the same thing for years after year after year. If you're the same person at 40 as you was at 20, you wasted 20 years of your life. So just get comfortable being uncomfortable, man. It's okay. Growth happens when you're uncomfortable. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. That's my golden rule of the day. I thank you guys for coming out today, I'm sorry, and showing out, man. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next episode.
When real life happens, now. We got a golden rule. Stay true, stay focused on what's important. Oh, you can discover the gold in you. Find your gold.
Look, breaking news. Life is golden when you make the rules. Moves good or bad.